Kirk Stadium as Raith Rovers become the 14th team through to the last 16. Who will be the 15th? Will it be Rangers or will it be Fraserburgh? It's goalless with almost 18 minutes played as we head to Ibrox for live commentary with Stephen McGinn, Neil McCann and Thomas Duncan.
Thanks, Richard. Yep, so far so good for Fraserburgh of the Highland League. They've got to 18.5 minutes without conceding, although they probably should have, as Rangers come forwards. Here, Diamonde fires it into the box. Dessers tries to flex, then it comes to Bayrami on the edge of the area. A free kick is given. Brian Hay, the Fraserburgh defender, went down and gets the free kick. Yeah, Rangers, Cyril Dessers missed a gilt-edged chance in the box after only a couple of minutes. It was a brilliant run in behind from Ross McCausland, played across him. He has to score. Offside was given on the field, but VAR is in operation here, Stephen McGinn. So I think if he had put it in the net, it would have stood, and I don't know how he missed it.
Yeah, it was an absolute sitter, Cyril Dessers. He's got to score. It was actually a brilliant ball from Bayrami, brilliant movement from Ross McCausland, who does so well to cut it back for Dessers, and he's got to score. Brian Hay had another brilliant block on Cyril Dessers early in the game, but Fraserburgh be really happy with how the game's going. Rangers are playing at a slow tempo, and Fraserburgh look reasonably comfortable.
They do indeed, after weathering an early storm. Ross McCausland with a strike that forced Joe Barber, the Fraserburgh goalkeeper, to make a save in the opening 40 seconds. They've survived the opening burst from Rangers, and only a couple of chances since. Proper headed over from a corner, and there was a shot from the edge of the area from Bayrami as well, which went a couple of yards wide. So the Highland League sides enjoying themselves so far, and Rangers, Neil McCann, probably just need to up it.
Well, it's all right to saying you're up. I don't think they're not trying to play with a tempo, but there seemed to just be a lack of. Just looking at this before it finishes, just feels like there's something coming.
Looking to slip in Tavernier. Good block by West, the Fraserburgh captain, and he plays it up to Scott Barber, their top scorer, who tries to hold it up. He's looking for a free kick on halfway.
Yeah, Thomas, I was just saying about I'm always looking for Rangers when they come up against a disciplined side, and it's going to be a tough afternoon for Fraserburgh, and they have done exceptionally well up to now. But those three guys in the middle of the park, he's been quite brave by playing two up, but the three in the middle of the park are really having to put in a shift to try and get in touch with the wide areas, and Rangers are actually going out of there very, very easily. But then I'm looking for patterns of play, how to manipulate the back five, because they're very rigid of Fraserburgh, and it's nothing. It all seems to be a bit off the cuff, and so far I think Fraserburgh, as Stephen says, they've looked relatively comfortable.
It's a Fraserburgh throw down the line. Sweeney Rowe, the Dundee low knee towards Barber, but Rangers deal with it. It's clear just over halfway to Dessers, who wins a throw in. Fraserburgh, it's their first game since the end of December, had a couple of call-offs, so what a game to return to after a few weeks off.
I've heard they were doing some sand dunes. Is it Tiger Bay or Tiger something? Anyway, one of them, they were running up and down sand dunes, so getting a wee bit of old school on them. But I'm just looking at how they're shaping up. That two up top, I would like to see maybe Connor Wood just dropping in and making a 5-4 if they want to be a wee bit more resolute, because the three midfielders, you have to think, Thomas, not having a lot of football and getting pulled into wide areas and then having to return to that central area, it's going to be an incredibly difficult shift for them.
It is indeed, and it's a throw in to Fraserburgh over on the far side. Ibrox, not full, but still a healthy crowd in here to watch this fourth round tie, as Proper heads it on the halfway line. It's out for another throw in over on the far side.
You're looking at the shape here as well. Zach Lovelace is doing his job defensively as if it's a European game. He's going all the way in. I think this is the type of game where you can maybe cheat. You can say to your wingers, "Well, you wait out there, we'll get the ball back to you," and then it'll maybe help attack the game, not have the game so narrow when you win the ball back.
Well, it's a good point, and it's almost like saying, right, you're Rangers, you're at home here. I think we can let Fraserburgh, when they pick the ball up, to be a little bit brave. Are they going to pour bodies forward? And you're right, if Zach Lovelace or Ross McCausland is in a more advanced area, then maybe you're going to get more joy.
That's good defending from Kieran Simpson as the ball was fired in towards Dessers. Good sliding block to clear. It's up towards Barber again, who's having a tough shift trying to get any possession up there. Thenciala that time hold him off, and Proper strides forwards into the Fraserburgh half, gives it to McCausland on the right hand side, who's been fairly bright for Rangers in this opening 23 minutes. It is goalless though. Barron looks up along the grass to Jefté, the left back. Jefté with Aitken in front of him, comes inside into the middle of the pitch, offloads to Barron. Barron with a right foot to the edge. Dessers can't hold it up. He's challenged well in the middle of the pitch, and it breaks back down the Rangers end. Nsiala mops up, gives it to Proffer. Proffer for Barron. Barron again looks forward, but has to go to Proffer, and then it's Nsiala playing his 4th game in a row for Rangers as Lovelace, his first start of the season, collects on the left-hand side, drives in, then gives it to Tavernier. Tavernier outside of the right boot to McCausland, right-hand side of the box, but his touch isn't the cleanest, and William West, who's made over 700 appearances for Fraserburgh, closing in on their all-time appearance record, makes a really good challenge, and Rangers get the throw on the far side, and they're keen to get on with it as Tavernier has it. The captain back in the starting 11 after a recent injury. It's launched into the box. Dessers doesn't get on the end of it, and it bounces out for a goal kick. 0-0.
That's a dream ball for Fraserburgh. Nsiala, the centre-halves are getting left on it, and they're looking up, and Cyril Dessers, it's a straight ball. Fraserburgh, whatever level of football you play at, you'll deal with that all day.
Well, I think if you, I mean, Nsiala and Proffer do have a lot of tendency to look for diags and quick balls to the wide areas, but I don't think the space was there. I mean, that back 5 of Fraserburgh is virtually set in stone when they're out of possession. So, I mean, it is looking at overlaps on the outside. If Jefté and Tavernier play a little bit shorter, and McCausland and Lovelace stay wide, that leaves the gaps then for Bayrami or Diamonde just to run into. But again, I don't want to repeat myself, but so far there's nothing in terms of patterns to then go and work those spaces.
Well, I don't mean to be flippant, but I was here last week and St Johnstone were just about to go 3-0 down, so Fraserburgh have done not bad in terms of their defensive work and their discipline.
St Johnstone's slightly more open, Thomas, and slightly more risky than Fraserburgh, but still, I know what side of the result I'd like to be on.
Yeah, I would say so. As Nsiala collects, passes it forward to Lovelace, edge of the area, tries to slip in by Rami. Good sliding challenge again from Hay, the centre half. Good experience, 25 years old. A lot of Highland League football as Jefté collects the throw in, gives it to Lovelace, 20 yards out into Dessers, tries to take it on the turn. Simpson this time does his defending, nips in to take it off Dessers' toes, and it's cleared long. Nsiala back to Mason Munn, the 18-year-old Northern Irishman. He took a little chance with his pass out there to Nsiala, but Barber couldn't intercept. Big day for Mason Munn.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get much work on those gloves, you would imagine. But it looks quite handy with his feet there, but almost gets caught out. I mean, that's a horrible shift up there for Scott Barber. I know he scored I was looking, is it 270 goals, is that right? Is that right, Thomas?
Yeah,
that's a quite incredible return. The
top scorer of all time, yeah.
I mean, if he scores a day, he'd probably put that right to the top of the list, but it's virtually a running shift he's got today.
Yeah. And here's Bayrami as Rangers come again, slips it down the left-hand side of the box. Jefté's onto it. Jefté round Hay, gets the byline, cuts it back. Good header at the near post away. Bayrami, edge of the area, step over, drives in, has to check back. Good work from Buchan, the midfielder, to hold him off, and then Bayrami strikes it with the right foot. It's blocked by Buchan. And then Jefté on the left-hand side. Rangers relentless at the moment in terms of their pressure. Jefté curls it in, header up in the air from Hay. Tavernier chases it at the back post, it bounces, and Tavernier will let this run out for a corner. Rangers 0, Fraserburgh 0, 26.5 played.
Two really good headers there. The first, Kieran Simpson gets his head on one, and then that was a lovely block towards the back post. Jefté's actually, I think, improved his final ball, although there's still a bit of work to do there. But you don't need to go by anyone, just get a half yard, put it in the box.
Tavernier prepares to take this corner in front of the healthy Fraserburgh away support. Right-footed, curls towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Dessers header, goal! Deadlock is broken, and it's Cyril Dessers who redeems himself from his earlier sitter that he passed up. Corner in, simple finish, and it is Rangers 1, Fraserburgh 0.
Yeah, it's a brilliant delivery from James Tavernier, and Cyril Dessers is just free in the middle of the box. It seems so easy, and he takes this chance well. Fraserburgh, you can see the body language. They're so disappointed to lose a goal of that manner. Rangers' main striker free in the middle of the box, so Rangers get the breakthrough. I think that will help with the tempo of the game. You can see in the lead up to the corner, Aitken, the first time in the game he switched off to let Jefté in, and maybe that bit of tiredness, a bit of confusion, and it's a pretty comfortable goal for Rangers there.
Yeah, I think you're right, Stephen. I mean, how much work they put in, you can maybe accept that Rangers are going to pull you apart now and again, but from a set piece, you're hoping that nobody's getting a free header in your box, and when the ball's coming in, we're just looking at a slower replay coming in, just wondering if somebody just dropped him. Yeah, it was just a wee bit of movement, and maybe a suggestion of a pull. Not sure who is it goes pulled down, but maybe a half a block as well. But nonetheless, it was a good solid header from Dessers downward and finds the back of the net.
Yeah, 14th goal of the season for Cyril Dessers. VAR did not come to Fraserburgh's rescue with any potential foul in the box there, and then that's a sore one from Connor Wood. He's got a shoulder from his namesake Connor Barron and goes down in a heap. Philippe Clement is protesting Barron's innocence. I think saying it was just
I think it was
accidental coming together, really.
I think he just runs into Connor Barron's shoulder. He's just doing a little block on him, but nonetheless it's a sore one.
Yeah, Fraserburgh put up a good fight in the opening 27 minutes. Weathered an early storm, but the set piece goal from Cyril Dessers, Tavernier to Dessers, simple header.
Just a bit strong for him, Stephen. He just sort of shrugs him off, and then there's a little block.
He seemed, I think between a block, he seems to lose his footing as opposed to. I mean, they're both grabbing each other. Physically, Rangers have an edge on Fraser, but they obviously top flight players. They physically stronger, and I think he. Don't know if he loses his footing, but good striking play from Dessers. He loses his man and works a free header.
Well, that is perhaps Cyril Dessers in a nutshell. He will score you goals, but he will also miss plenty of chances, and we've seen that already in the opening 28 minutes of this game as Connor Woods, he's back on his feet. The Fraserburgh forwards just waiting to be allowed to come back on after taking a sore one, but the visitors temporarily down to 10, and they'll have to defend here as it's played in behind for Dessers, chasing it towards the left corner flag, holds it up, gets a little dunt, but he's done really well. Dessers still has it, left hand side of the box, plays it off the defender, and then it breaks for Jefte with a pass across the edge of the box. Tavernier's going to strike it with the right foot first time, and he cracks it off the crossbar. What a strike from James Tavernier, and oh so close to Rangers 2, Fraserburgh 0, but it is just the one.
A brilliant effort. That's a bit Neil's talking about when you're playing the 5-3-2. The fullbacks are on all day, and one thing you've got against James Tavernier, if you let him get a chance to shoot, he's got the quality, and really unlucky. He's just a free man, hits it so well first time and off the bar.
His eyes are lighting up there as it's rolling to him edge of the box as well, because he knows he's just going to take it on first time. Brilliant technique.
This is the bits I was talking about, Neil. Rangers
lovely
shaped.
Yeah.
For the most part, they're going to win the ball. The Rangers are setting up like it's the will at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Everyone's defending it. What if Lovelace comes and stands out here? If I'm a Fraserburgh defender, I'm going, oh no, if they win that, exactly. I'm not winning that race.
Yeah, well, if he goes and stands out there, then Ross Aitken just decides to just retreat, and then you've got more space, less bodies to try and defend against.
Clinton Nsiala steps forward from defence, gives it to Lovelace, who takes it well. He slipped it to Bayrami, he's into the box, looks up, looks for Dessers at the back post. It's intercepted by Young, I think, in there. Good defending as Jefte gets to the byline inside the box. Again, cuts it back. Again, it's well defended. But I wonder if Bayrami could have just lashed one at goal there.
Well, he should do. I know I'm all for players being unselfish if there's someone in a better position, but I didn't think Dessers was. He was slightly behind the defender, so he wasn't in front of him for a roll and a tap-in. But even then, when Jefte gets to the byline there, this is what I'm talking about his final ball and the awareness. James Tavernier's unmarked. All the Fraserburgh players are going towards the 6-yard box. He just stood up there.
And Fraserburgh go long again. Barber chasing relentlessly up there. Oil and gas engineer, top scorer of the season with 13 and 27. Fraserburgh 9th in the Highland League, off the pace, having been in a title race with Brechin and Bucky last season as Rangers again come down that left hand side, but it's good defended from Aitken to beat Jefte to that particular ball, and it's played off a Rangers player for a Fraserburgh throw-in.
Zach Lovelace has been involved in all Rangers good stuff. He's looked really bright. We were speaking off air about how physically strong he looks, and he's been the bright spark for Rangers for me so far.
Played long, and Barber will chase it. Nsiala's there. He gets a head on it back to Mason Munn. Yeah, I wonder, obviously, he was out with a torn hamstring for so long, Zach Lovelace. I wonder if that's allowed him to just get in the gym. And
he was always quite robust, but I mean, I was surprised. He's actually physically looks taller, he looks stronger, everything about it. So yeah, probably gym and just maturing.
Really good touch from Lovelace as he comes in on the right foot. Strike blocked by Aitken, and it breaks for Woods, who's back on the pitch after that dunt, but Connor Barron robs him of the ball, and it's just classically so difficult for Fraserburgh. When they get a sniff of possession, they don't have it for long, and Rangers are coming again, and ball into the box.
Great cover.
Headed to the edge, and Sweeney Rowe, the Dundee loanee, clears.
Brian Hay, brilliant cover there, because young Kieran Simpson, he was on the heels, and Dessers had got in behind him. But the experience of Hay just mopping up, becoming a sweeper.
Barber, the goalkeeper, plays it long. Barber, the striker, tussling with Robert Propper, and then just out of frustration, I think, just puts the two hands in the back and shoves him over. That was as blatant as you will see.
Yeah, he's definitely a handful though, Barber. You can see when they go long to him. Propper is having to work really hard to win any battle against him. And Barber's not trying to win it. He's just trying to be awkward, let it bounce, and try and allow for Wood to get up and close and onto the ball.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. The penultimate Scottish Cup 4th round tie of the weekend. Full live commentary tomorrow night of the last one, the Dundee derby at Dens. That should be a cracker. Right here it is Rangers 1, Fraserburgh 0. As we approach the 34th minute, Cyril Desser's strike is the difference between the Premiership's second best side at the moment and the 9th best side in the Highland League. And Bayrami tries to take it on the edge of the box. Fraserburgh get a foot in, and then Young, their midfielder, stabs it forwards. Propper has it now though, playing very high up midway through the Fraserburgh half, gives it to Tavernier, and then McCausland right on the far touchline, surging towards the right hand side of the box. McCausland, he's done really well, chips it in. Dessers with a little flick from behind him. He could have maybe moved his feet there, I don't know, maybe I'm being harsh, but he couldn't take it from with a stray leg out behind him as it's thrown in. Tavernier plays it back to McCausland. McCausland finds Diamonde, and then Bayrami, right corner of the box. Sweeney Rowe in front of him, and it's recycled. Diamonde and Tavernier takes it infield, outside of the boot, looking for Dessers. Lashed away though, only as far as Propper. Propper for Jefte. Jefte plays it to Lovelace on the left hand side. Lovelace up against Ross Aitken, couple of step overs, goes on the outside, then back on the inside, chips it in with the right foot to the back post, and it's over everyone. Played in, edge of the 6-yard box, header from Hay. Tavernier controls with the right, the chest, and hits it with the right. It's blocked, and then it bobbles about in the box and ends up with Joe Barber, the goalkeeper, picking up, and it remains Rangers 1, Fraserburgh 0.
What Rangers have done in the last couple of minutes, what I quite like, they've let McCausland, the fullbacks have just let McCausland and Lovelace just go at their man, and you can see the tiredness, and he's nothing better. And you want your wingers in that era. You don't want fullbacks. I know football's changing and the fullbacks get more advanced, but Ross McCausland and Lovelace are here to get at the man and get quality, and I feel as if they've got better quality in that area than your fullbacks would. That's certainly down this side with Jefte.
Yeah, Fraserburgh just had a wee 40 forward there, but Connor Woods is called offside as he ran in behind and took it towards the corner flag, so it will be a Rangers free kick. And as expected, it has been in an attacking sense. All Rangers in this first half, they've had chances, and the breakthrough from Cyril Dessers. Fraserburgh, massive achievement to get to the 4th round. Saw off Annan Athletic 2-0. League One side in the last round beat Rothes 8-0 in the first round, and then Turriff United, their fellow Highland League side as well, 3-1 after extra time in the second round. So hard fought to get here as Nsiala goes back and Wood chases him, and then he knocks it to Mason Munn, the teenage goalkeeper, between the sticks for Rangers this afternoon. And I have to say, fair play for putting him in there, but I didn't think Liam Kelly would play again this afternoon, given that you would imagine when Jack Butland does return, then he will come back in between the sticks, and Liam Kelly was getting a few games as it slipped to Jefte, left corner of the box. Chance for the fullback to make it 2-0, and it's hit the post.
Save.
And I think it's, the keeper's got a touch off his leg, hits the post and away, and another brilliant chance for Rangers.
Yeah, it's a brilliant save from Joe Barber. I mean, I don't know if he's going to get the credit for it, but I thought he just clipped the outside of his left leg there. Got a brilliant pass. Jefte, he's really quick, you know, and he's making the mind up, which is what you have to do. And he's taken off, he gets in behind, and I mean, Dessers is another target possible to shape it across the front of Joe Barber, but he decides to take it on, gets a good strike. I think it's a good save.
Yeah, the good goal kick's been given, but I think you're right, Neil.
It's one of those. I remember I've been on a coaching course and we're doing it with Jim Fleeton, and he was saying, "No, what would you prefer as a goalkeeper? You know, if you've tipped it round the post and you've made an unbelievable save, would you rather that save is acknowledged and it's a corner, or you just want to buy a kick?" And I think every day of the week, I think Joe Barber wants that save tagged up.
Yeah, That's played forward by Aitken, and Wood will chase this, but Jeffrey will get there first. Goes back to his goalkeeper Mason Munn, controls with the right foot, and then he plays it across his box. It's under hit, and it's straight to Barber. Chance for Fraserburgh. Barber wide of the post. But the teenage goalkeeper Mason Munn playing his team into all sorts of bother, and that is a huge chance for Fraserburgh to equalise.
He won't get a better chances. I think he should square it. Barber, Wood's just standing there tapping. A horrible mistake from Munn. He's just passed straight to Barber. I don't think he can believe his luck, and I think he hits it through Munn's legs and just goes by the post. But what a chance for Fraserburgh.
Well, heart and mouths all around Ibrox there. That came out of nothing as Bayrami looks for McCausland, and that'll go away for a Fraserburgh goal kick.
Well, I agree with you, Stephen. I thought the first time he got on it, I thought, right, just square it. But I mean, we were watching replays and not getting the privilege. You've sorted this out here, Thomas, with your computer.
It's a bit behind, it's fair to
just
say.
a wee bit, aye. But as I said, I think the opportunity arises, and it's just maybe. I mean, I suppose you can't have a go at Scott Barber too much, but just get the eyes up and just see it and square it. We're just going to watch it now. I mean, it's caught out horribly.
Yeah, I mean,
if he squares it there, you know, I know you're not watching it at home, and the listeners, but I feel that's a wonderful opportunity. Maybe that's just his goal-scoring instinct kicking in there.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, Mason Munn will be asked to play it out from the back. Of course he will, but that was just, well, it was under hit. And a nervy moment for the young goalkeeper, but he gets away with it, and Rangers come forward. Tavernier crosses the halfway line, marches up the right, gives it to McCausland, tries to play it infield to Diamonde, who can't believe the pass wasn't made as it was blocked, and now Tavernier mops up at the back and goes back to Mason Munn, who I'm sure will be safer with his passing for the rest of this game. 6.5 left on the clock in this first half, and it's Rangers 1, Fraserburgh 0. Jeffrey jinking in fields, gives it to Tavernier. Tavernier forward to McCausland, down the side of the box. Sliding challenge goes in from William West, and it's a throw in on the far side.
Fraserburgh defending much better at that side, because I think West is more comfortable in the back three going out there, whereas Hay on this side, Aitken's been done in the inside of him a couple of times, and he's reluctant to come out and help. He's obviously a centre half, used to be in the middle of the box, and this is a side that Rangers are causing them all the problems.
Yeah, William West, he plays left back most weeks, so comfortable out there as Bayrami lines up a shot, blocked, breaks back for Diamonde. Diamonde forced backwards, and Fraserburgh will be desperate to just get to the break with the scoreline as it is, and of course they went so close to nicking one a few moments ago. It was gifted to them though by Rangers as Proper plays it to McCausland. McCausland for Bayrami on the right touchline. His pass is blocked. Sweeney Rowe jinks away from McCausland, who takes him out, and it is a free kick to the visitors, who will be very encouraged. Mark Cowie just in conversation with his staff down in front of us in the dugout.
Sometimes, I mean, what Rangers are doing is they're clogging up areas, and I don't think they're intentionally doing it. They're trying to put tempo in the game, so the full-backs and midfielders are making runs in behind, but actually it's making things harder for Rangers, because the wingers have got nowhere to go, because not only are they attracting Fraserburgh players over, all the teammates are trying to get urgency into play, but they're just getting far too close to each other.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, Steve. It's just been a wee bit off the cuff, you know, and not being intelligent to leave spaces or make sideward steps just to open up gaps. I mean, it's probably a day where you're looking for that bit of old-fashioned wing type play as well from Lovelace on this side, or Jefte, and in particular Ross McCausland. I'd love to see him just take people on, go on the outside, and then stand little balls up for the midfielders coming in.
Here is Jefte, collected it from his goalkeeper. It's Rangers 1, Fraserburgh 0. As we tick towards half-time here at Ibrox, James Tavernier looking for some movement in front of him. McCausland is really close to him, actually. Gets it via Dessers and goes back to Tavernier. And Fraserburgh just stepping up slightly, trying to push Rangers back. And they do go back. Now it's Enciala, centre circle. Gives it to Lovelace on the touchline. Lovelace comes infield and then passes it across to Tavernier, centre of the pitch. Tavernier thinks about the shot and then chips into the box. Hay deals with it, it bounces and Barron goes after it, challenged by Barber. Now Enciala and Proper dribbles forward a few yards, gives it to McCausland jinking in off the right hand side into the middle of the pitch. Ross McCausland, left-footed shot, blocked by Young, and now it breaks for Barber. He's done really well backing into proper, hits the deck and wins the free kick, and that is superb.
It's brilliant striker play for Joe Barber. You're delighted as a teammate that he's won you that foul, but you just said there about Lovelace, he's coming in field. McCausland, he's came in field trying a shot with his left foot because he'd got nowhere to go, because Jeffrey's brought Buck in ahead of him at this side with Lovelace, and they're having to come in the park. Just that's got to be a message from the coaching staff at half time. Just leave your wingers, just leave them high. We'll get joy one-on-one.
Tavernier wins the header as Fraserburgh come forward. Sweeney Rowe plays it up in the sky. Barber challenges, comes back to Nsiala, who controls with the right foot. He has looked impressive in recent performances, and certainly probably not been overly troubled in a lot of the games defensively that he's played so far, but it'll be a big step up if he plays on Thursday night at Old Trafford, of course. But he's looked comfortable in the games he has played. Tavernier plays it into Desser's edge of the box. First time flick round the corner to McCausland, who'll get there. Plays the cross in. Lovelace can't reach it. Too high for him. And now it's Jefte. This near side of the box, having a go at Aitken. Little shimmy. Lays it to Byram in the edge. Onto the right foot. Curling shot blocked. And spins away. And it will be a throw in to Rangers down in front of us.
Kieran Simpson's just taken that one flush in the face, I think. Brilliant, brave defending. They've done that really well when the ball's gone inside. They've actually rushed shots and they've put their bodies on the line. He's going to take a wee bit of time just to recover from that one. That was flush right in the forehead.
Yeah, and he's taken a blow there. The young defender, Kieran Simpson, 24 years old, joiner. He scored the crucial second goal against Annan in the last round, and he's looked good in that back three alongside the more experienced Hay and West.
He's up smiling.
Yeah.
Tough boy. Highlanders.
Yeah, day to remember for all these players. And they've done themselves justice so far. Still just the one goal in it in Rangers' favour. Cyril Dessers with it. Header from a corner as Rangers get on with things, and Nsiala controls. Looks for a pass forward, gives it to Tavernier, who's playing as a midfielder mostly really. Gives it into Byrami, poor touch, and Buchan is in there and gives it to Marley Sweeney Rowe and clears off McCausland, and it'll be a goal kick.
I don't know what Neil thinks, but I almost feel as if the Fraserburgh players don't want half-time here. They've put so much into the half-time. In the game, they're feeling comfortable. They know what Rangers are trying to do. A lot of last-ditch stuff, but they really actually think with how much they've put in half-time, actually do them more bad than good, if that makes sense, with just going again mentally and physically.
I agree. It's probably the last thing you want to go in and take a seat and just let that energy just drop a wee bit. But I suppose it just gives them a breather, just to try and come up with some sort of game plan that is worked on top of this one.
I think he was looking for a nudge there. Yeah, I thought Fraserburgh perhaps could add a free kick there, which would have given them a chance to whip the ball into the box, but it's play on. Lovelace gets away with it, and now it's with Mason Munn, the Rangers goalkeeper. We're into the final. We had one added minute. We've nearly played it at the end of this half.
I think a half-time will be more important for Philippe Clement, actually, just to, if he is just soaking this up with his coaching team, just to come up with variations of how to break this team down better than what they've done so far.
And there is the half-time whistle, and Rangers do have the advantage. They've been dominant, they've had plenty of chances, but there was a frightening moment for them where Fraserburgh went close to an equaliser. But Cyril Dessers, having missed a sitter, which was called offside early on, but I think, having seen a replay, I think it might have been given had he scored via VAR. He missed it. It was a gilt-edged chance, and Rangers had a few in the opening moments of the game. Fraserburgh survived until the 27th minute, when Tavernier's corner was met by Dessers, simple header into the back of the net, and that is the difference between the sides at the break. James Tavernier's hit the bar, Jeffrey's hit the post, and then there was that chance for Fraserburgh. 38 minutes, a horrible pass out from Mason Munn, the teenage goalkeeper for Rangers, who's between the sticks this afternoon. Gifted straight to Barber, and he tried the shot, maybe should have squared it to Woods, and it just drifted wide of the post, and Rangers survived. So half time in the Scottish Cup fourth round tie at Ibrox, it is Rangers 1, Fraserburgh 0.
The Scottish Cup,
live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland,
where Scottish football lives.
on BBC Sounds.
Scottcast is a brand new podcast taking you beyond the headlines.
For many people, this is an issue of equality.
You know, there's several reasons why we get so animated about this discussion.
Join us through the week as we chat about the biggest stories in Scotland.
Is this the start, basically, of the 2026 election?
Stories that affect this country, that affect you, who we are, how we live.
What does it mean for, like you say, people's pockets?
It's the podcast covering current affairs along with the big moments in culture, entertainment and sport.
Scottcast with Martin Geisler. Listen now on BBC Sounds.
We are in the closing stages of round 4 of this season's Scottish Cup, midway through what is the penultimate tie of the round. Rangers 1-0 up against Fraserburgh, the 14th goal of the season from Cyril Dessers. A reminder that the conclusion comes tomorrow night, and it does so in what could be spectacular fashion as Dundee and Dundee United go head-to-head at Dens Park. We'll be live on air from 7 o'clock. We'll bring you all the action as it unfolds, and then the draw for the last 16 of this season's competition. Busy week after we've brought you that game on the radio. Tomorrow we'll have live coverage on Wednesday, Champions League, Celtic against Young Boys, and on Thursday from the Europa League, Manchester United against Rangers. Rounding things off for the week with a big game in the SWPL live on BBC Scotland on the telly. Celtic against Hearts. There is one game there this afternoon which is just getting underway. Hearts against Montrose. There's the SWPL Cup semi-finals which start at 4 and 4:10 respectively. Hibernian against Aberdeen and Celtic against Rangers. So look out for coverage of that. Of course, the website bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. We already brought you live commentary from a dramatic encounter at the Falkirk Stadium. Falkirk gifted the lead with just 11 minutes to go. Callum Morrison rolling it home. It's Sam Stanton who was culpable in giving the ball away for Falkirk's goal, then hooked in a sensational volley for the equaliser 4 minutes from the end. Dylan Easton won it from the penalty spot. His kick was... well, the hand, Nicky Hogarth got his hand to the ball, but he couldn't keep it out, and it flew into the net. Some extra time drama thereafter, but it was Wraith Rovers who went through, becoming the 14th side to book their place in the 5th round. So there are 7 championship sides. As Cove Rangers from League One. Right now there are 6 top flight teams. Rangers hoping to join them, and then it will be either Dundee or Dundee United tomorrow night. A little bit later we'll have the chance to reflect further on what happened at the Falkirk Stadium. Right now we can look back in the opening 45 minutes. I would imagine, Neil McCann, that Fraserburgh are going to be pretty happy going in 1-0 down, and yet
yes.
And they'll know that there's been a couple of efforts of it, the frame of the goal, but they will feel that they should be in level terms, shouldn't they?
I don't know about level terms, Richard, but certainly that chance that presented itself to Scott Barber and Connor Wood that he might have been able to square it was a big one, a real big one. I think that's the game plan. You come down, you just try and defend for your lives, and then try and get 1 or 2 opportunities and hopefully try and take one that'll give you something in the match. Yefty had a really good run, and I felt that Joe Barber made the save. He wasn't given it. It was a goal kick. Desser's big miss. Other than that, Richard, there's been a lot of balls that's been maybe knocked about, 1-2s towards the edge of the box, and Fraserburgh defended brilliantly. So brave, putting their faces, their bodies in the line and making sure they're getting first contact before the goalkeeper Joe Barber has to do anything secondary. But Stephen and I have been talking about a lot of the wide areas, because the wide areas is where it's at for Rangers today because of how Fraserburgh are setting up with the 3 central midfielders. I know they've been quite brave with Connor Wood trying to support Scott Barber, but maybe in hindsight, maybe just flatten out into a 4 might just give them a wee bit of respite through the middle of the park, because it's certainly those areas that I feel that Rangers have not worked properly. Talking about overlaps, underlaps, or actually just being old-fashioned. I know I'm sounding really old here, Richard, but just going 1v1, getting to the byline, making those Fraserburgh players then face their own goal, or just because they're so diligent, just dropping little balls towards the penalty spot or cutbacks. That's where they're going to get their joy. But I think they've been a credit to the Highlands, and I think the travelling support will be well chuffed with Fraserburgh's output this afternoon.
Yeah, Stephen McGinn, what have you made of the opening 45 minutes?
Yeah, it's funny when you watch these types of games and all the glamour of the draw, the financial rewards for the club, the prestige for these guys and their families coming down here for a good day out, but sometimes you can really suffer for the 90 minutes, and the football's by far the least enjoyable bit. The Fraserburgh players look as if they're enjoying the day, which is a real credit to the way the manager's organised the bravery, because some of the stuff has been last-ditch defending, but there are also mixed feelings probably in terms of the Dessers chance. It's brilliant play from Rangers. They just get cut wide open by players that are better than them. That should score, but the manner of the goal and the manner of the chance they were presented with, probably mixed feelings in terms of how the half's gone. But I think for me, Rangers have to do so much more. What Neil said, they've got to play quicker, play smarter, play the game. Don't play. I feel as if they're playing, and I said it in commentary, they're playing the same way out of possession as they will against Man United. Go and be really aggressive. Go and stand out in that touchline. We'll get the ball back, because we all get the ball back, and then we'll hit it quickly to our wingers and we'll kill them down the sides in the second half. I think it needs to be more on the day aggressive stuff.
They've had some big chances, and certainly Barber, the goalie, has pulled off a couple of really good saves. Tavernier hit the crossbar. Jefte, well, he certainly hit the post. I tend to agree with Neil. It looked like there was a touch by Barber that put it onto the far post. They also, of course, could have been a hit behind in the 7th minute where Cyril Dessers did Cyril Dessers things.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, it was a horrible miss. It comes off somewhere around the top of his ankle, I think, and then I think that's when he gets called off, because McCausland is he's trying to get to his feet from the cutback, and that's when he's offside. He's not from the initial ball from Bayrami, but it's a wonderful opportunity, and that's the ones you want early in the game, and you stick it in the back of the net, and it's like for Fraserburgh to think, right, God, here we go at Ibrox, this is what we're expecting. But at 1-0, their dream is still alive. Listen, what I would say is, and I'm pretty certain about this team will start to fade. They'll start to get tired. The minds will start to get tired because the amount of work they're putting in, and that's when Rangers they'll go on and they'll score more without question. But up until now, I think there's a lot of work to be done in the home dressing room for me, from my perspective, in terms of, from a coaching point of view, in terms of how to manipulate this really solid back five. I think Jefte either needs to just stay a little bit shallower, and Lovelace just sitting between the right wing back and the right centre back as it is, because it seems to be this left side that's getting more joy, and that will create more opportunities. I would have loved to have in this game seen young Bailey Rice playing, Finlay Curtis playing. I mean, I think they're talking about opportunities to get your kids in. I know Zach Lovelace is in, and you've got Mason Munn there, but is this not the game that you rest Diamande for? You've got Man United on Thursday night, and you just say, right, this is the games you put your kids in, because I think the B team beat Fraserburgh, was it 4-5-0 or something? So I'm a wee bit disappointed in that. I really am. And then you can sit back and say, right, well, there's your experience you're looking for, because you're talking about Bailey Rice from Philippe Clement, saying about he's worked his ticket, he's been patient, blah blah blah, and then he doesn't go on against St Johnstone, who are bottom of the league, and you're winning 3-0. But this is a game to properly bleed your youngsters. Give them the experience at Ibrox against a side who are going to be, they're going to work hard, they're going to be professional and diligent in terms of their output and what the occasion means to them. But you get better players, and if your young boys can't perform in this game and get you through, then when are they going to be good enough? So maybe we'll see one or two more coming on at half time.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out that down by the touchline. Rangers they've absolutely, as you would anticipate, dominated the game. There have been plenty of opportunities, but there is that one moment, Stephen, that Fraserburgh will look back on, and it's Mason Munn who gives the ball away straight to Scott Barber. He comes in on the angle. He's got to know that Willie Wood is waiting for him, waiting for the cut back. He would be rolling it into the empty net. But if you're Scott Barber,
Scott Barber, since the draw was made, Scott Barber's probably been dreaming about that exact situation. And probably if you say to him later, I'm sure they'll have a drink later on, his teammates and William Wood Connor Wood will not let him forget about it. He's probably thinking, he said, I'm taking that shot on all day at Ibrox when it presents itself.
270 goals, I think he's entitled to, fancy his chances.
What I would say, Richard, for Mason Munn, because he gets away with it and he misses, I think it's a brilliant learning curve. You speak about putting the players in. There's going to be days as a Rangers goalkeeper where that is what you're there to do, almost like just continue the attacks and just that discipline of not being involved in the game and not making sure that you just tidy. You're really tidying your game.
Yep.
And I think it's a brilliant learning curve for Mason Mount that he's actually made the mistake. I don't know if Philippe Clement will think like that. He'll be thinking, don't put us at risk. But I actually think it's what can he take from the day? Because he's not going to make that many saves, but he can take that to play for Rangers. You need to be switched on all the time, because one slip up and you could cost your team.
Stephen, I got my Willie West and my Connor Wood mixed up there. It was Connor Wood, wasn't it, who came in, or who was there waiting and praying for the tap-in. And well, we'll see what happens in the second half. You certainly would be very, very surprised if Fraserburgh had another cast-down opportunity just quite as good as that, Neil.
Yeah, I think that's the one. And it felt like the right player. You have to say it, the whole team, you know, it is falling to Scott Barber, and that's the one you wanted to drop to, but unfortunately that passed him by. I do expect a lot of goals in the second half from Rangers when Fraserburgh start to tire. They've not played in a few weeks. I just feel it's going to be too much for them. Once the game starts to get to that 60-70 minutes, Rangers start to maybe get one or two opportunities, maybe hit the back of the net. That's when it really starts to drive in the tiredness, Richard. But while it's still at 1-0, they'll be hoping in the dressing room that they can maybe just even sneak a win themselves. It just extends their time here in Ibrox pitch.
Well, they came here, they were desperate to enjoy the day. They've got a big following as well, and that's part of it as well, Stephen, isn't it? There's an opportunity for those Fraserburgh fans. They did see Rangers up the road at Belsley, what was it, 7-8 years ago now? But to get the chance to go down and see their team playing in Ibrox, that's one of the highs of the Scottish Cup. Yeah,
and absolutely. And as I was saying, I mean, at some point in the second half, this game will get away from Fraserburgh. They'll run out of legs, spaces will open up, Rangers will be more clinical. But even just to get to this half-time point, when the referee blew his whistle for half-time, it was a massive cheer from the away end, because it felt like such a big achievement. I know they're losing 1-0, but they were so good in the game, and as I said, your son's out there, your husband's out there, they're enjoying themselves, and as I said, these games can be where you really suffer and think, boy, that was a nightmare. Think of Salford going to play Man City last week and it been 8-0. You're always nervous. You don't want it to be total yesterday Broxburn losing 8-0. It's a disaster. You want to still do your job and professionally come and be competitive in the game. So far, so good for the Fraserburgh guys.
Rich, I think there's 1,400. Is it 1,400 of them have made their way down here?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know the exact number, but it certainly looks to be that kind of figure, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think they get 1,500 tickets, and I think I was talking to one of the lads downstairs, and he said they felt that they'd sold, or they thought they'd sold 1,400, and it does look a heavy contingent that's come down from Fraserburgh. I don't know what the population of Fraserburgh is, but I mean, I just wonder if the lights are still on, because it's an incredible turnout they've had today.
It is a wee bit bigger than that, to be fair. I think, but it's fantastic, and it's a great opportunity, and they've had a lot of joy and some heartbreak in recent years. Fraserburgh, they've been so close to some big silverware. As I say, enjoyed some success as well. But yeah, it's a great opportunity. Right now, they'll be enjoying it, and we'll see what happens in the second half. We'll have more time in the final hour of the programme after the commentary from you guys to reflect on the Scottish Cup as a whole. But it would appear that we're going through this whole fourth round, Neil, without any major upsets. I mean, one or two games. We probably would have expected Falkirk to beat Raith Rovers, Ross County to beat Livingston, but they're not seismic cup shocks, these, and we've had nothing, have we?
No, there's not been a ground shaker, Richard. I know everybody wants the romance of the cup, and they want at least one of them. But no, it's been relatively straightforward in the next round. We'll see who gets who in the draw after tomorrow night's Dundee derby. I mean, that's a brilliant game to look forward to tomorrow night. The big game thought the weekend was obviously Killie, Celtic, and obviously Motherwell and St Johnstone. A really important win for St Johnstone, given the fact that they're really struggling at the minute. So that was I mean, I wonder if people would say that was a wee bit of a surprise result. I'm not sure, but yeah, we've not had any kind of seismic results coming in the cup so far.
No, look, we'll have more time, as I say, in the final part of the programme to reflect. But as things stand, there are 7 teams from the Championship. There will be, assuming Rangers go on and see this one out, and of course we know it will be a top-flight side tomorrow night, so it'll be 8 from the Premiership, 7 from the Championship. The Cove Rangers from League One, who will be through to the last 16. The draw for the 5th round tomorrow night. We'll bring that to you as soon as the game has finished at Dens Park. So make sure you're with us then. And then for the European action, Wednesday, Celtic against Young Boys. Thursday, Manchester United against Rangers. It's going to be a busy old week. All the coverage with us here on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. We've got probably just 45 minutes left of action today in terms of the live matches. Let's get back. But it's Rangers 1, Fraserburgh 0 to Neil McCann, Stephen McGinn and Thomas Duncan.
Thanks, Richard. Players back out. Fraserburgh ready to kick off. Incidentally, Rangers' new loan signing from Lille, centre-back Rafael Fernandez, was paraded at half-time to the Ibrox crowds. So interesting to see what impact he can have. Young centre-half, not too much first-team experience. But you know, been in the academy at Sporting and then with Lille as well, so a player with pedigree at least. And I do wonder what that says about the prognosis of John Souttar's injury as well going forwards. But we are underway in the second half, where Rangers resume 1 goal to the goods, and well, certainly keen to get this game won early doors. Fraserburgh heartened by their first half display as it's chipped forward towards McCausland, but William West comes across and just chests that out for a throw in. McCausland gives it to Tavernier from the throw, goes down the right hand side, little back heel to Diamonde. That's lovely. Good dribble from Diamonde as well to squeeze down the byline. Then McCausland takes it on, checks back. Not much room to work with though, as Tavernier is in there as well, gets it. Diamonde up the line, lovely pass to get it away to McCausland, who's now infield towards the corner of the box, then back to Barron. First time on the edge of the area to Jefte, gets onto that left foot, lines it up, strike straight at the goalkeeper. Comfortable enough for Joe Barber. Rangers fizzing it about early on.
Yeah, it was comfortable. Straight into the arms. The only thing Joe Barber's got to make sure his concentration is good there, it doesn't bounce off him or worse underneath him. Yeah, just looking at Ross McCausland there going wide. A chance, by the way, here.
Yeah, there was a long ball from Fraserburgh, and it was not dealt with by Rangers, and Wood and Barber were threatening to get in behind, but Rangers just scrambled it
They were
away.
2v1 with Proper there. I mean, had the ball just broken kindly, then Rangers were in trouble.
See, Enciala probably showed a bit of his lack of experience there, because Connorwood's not trying to win it, he's just trying to let it bounce and attract almost Barber to get involved, and I think they get away with one there a bit, Rangers.
McCausland comes infield, gives it to Jefte again, gives it out to Lovelace on the left hand side. He's moving towards the byline, step over, surges to the byline, crosses miles over hit though, and I'll go out for a throw in on this near side. So good initial play from Lovelace, but got to control the final ball better.
Yeah, just final ball. It's the hardest thing to do is pick someone out or hit the right area when you're running at full pelt, but it's it was better getting at least 1v1 with the fullback.
Fraserburgh throw in down near their corner flag. Marley Sweeney-Rowe throws it up the line, over heads and bounces for Tavernier, who sends it towards Dessers right inside the box. Good control from the centre forward, gives it to Bayrami, and then McCausland. Now Diamonde infield, switch to Jefte out to the left hand side. Jefte moving towards the corner of the box, gives it square to Diamonde. Diamonde outside, slightly under hit past the Lovelace, but he's made the most of it here. Good movement to Jinkin field, and then Diamonde's pass for Proper, not great, and it's already scrappy, and Fraserburgh clear, and again, yeah, there's an injury here down for Fraserburgh, but if that had again, that ball there, that clearance had fallen to one of the two Fraserburgh attackers, they were 2-on-1 again.
Well, Kieran Simpson's just getting a hand up just to say, I'm sorry, I could see it, I just didn't execute the pass, but again, it was 2v1. Proper had gone so deep into midfield, lost the challenge, and it was Enciala that was left at the back door with both Barber and Wood.
Rangers looking to win the Scottish Cup for the 35th time. Only Celtic have won it more. Of course, beaten by their great rivals in the last 2 editions. Keen to get their hands back on that famous trophy once more. As Tavernier gives it to Enciala forwards for Lovelace, away from Hay, and then Buchan comes across. Lovelace plays it off Buchan as he tries to nip inside, and it'll go for a Rangers corner. 49 on the clock, Rangers 1, Fraserburgh 0. And I suppose the only frustration for Fraserburgh at this point will just be the sort of cheapness with which the goal was actually conceded from a set piece. Because although Rangers have created chances, you would expect them to. They've been resolute, the Highland League side. And referee and Sneddon's having a word with both sets of players. There's a bit of a scrum in the middle of the box.
It's proper. I don't know if I was trying to work out what's happened to him, if it's his eye. Or he's been looking really uncomfortable for the last couple of minutes. He was hunched over at one point. I know he went off injured the other night. I was surprised to see him today, but I don't know if it's facially, if he'd been maybe caught in the initial incident.
Well, the referee's happy now, and Tavernier prepares to take this corner, swings it in with the right foot near post, and Ciala gets a almost thigh on it, can't direct it goalwards, and the referee signals for another corner, much to the annoyance of the Fraserburgh defenders who thought it was a goal kick.
He's just evened it up, the referee. The corner they should have had in the first half, he just gave them to now, because it clearly came off Ciala last.
Tavernier strides backwards, both arms in the air, ready to deliver. Rangers attacking the Copeland end as it's hoisted to the back post, and it's a good header from Hay, and then Proper has it right hand side of the area, back to Bayrami, who chips it in. Header from Lovelace, falls to the back post. Tavernier hooks it back into the area. West's header controlled by Ciala. Good work from Buchan to get in ahead of him and then lash it towards the halfway line. Tavernier controls, gives it to McCausland, who just about got it under his spell, and goes back to Barron, who was in centre half position. Now by Rami, arrowed forward for Dessers, touches it for Diamonde, and he was lurking, but William West does well again. Good defending, turns it behind for another Rangers corner.
West does so well, you know, because the little flick down is perfect, and he reads it very, very well. I know he's a left back and he's switched on defensively, but he had to be there. It was superb defending.
Here's Diamonde as Rangers went short there. It's Diamonde back out to Ross McCausland on this near side. McCausland into Tavernier, a little flick towards Bayrami, touches it, no room to get a shot away, lays it onto the edge. Ciala strikes it with the left boot, deflected and in! And Clinton Ciala has his first Rangers goal, and Rangers double their advantage 6 minutes into the second half. And you get the feeling that might be that from a Fraserburgh point of view. They'll keep fighting, but Rangers get the goal they were searching for. It is Rangers 2, Fraserburgh 0.
Yeah, they just work it from side to side. McCausland gets it, he's on the touchline and he plays it across, and you can just see Ciala at the edge of the box. He's the 5-3-2 Fraserburgh. They can't get out to the wide player. With a quick switch of play, Rangers switch it so well, and I think it's his first ever professional goal. Ciala, he's absolutely delighted to see it go in, and that's the second goal Rangers were looking for.
I'm not sure who it definitely comes off of someone. I mean, he's well struck and he's watching it the whole way. I'm thinking, right, this is either going to end up in the top of the stand or he's going to hit an absolute peach. He does strike it really well, but it takes a hell of a deflection, I'm sure, on its way through to the goal. Just see, we're just watching the replay. Maybe is it coming from this one? I'm not sure, Stephen. Yeah, it just built up at the edge of the box, and when it just takes a terrible nick, I'm not sure who it goes past. It hits off to past Joe Barber.
Yeah, it's unfortunate from a Fraserburgh point of view, but a lovely grin on Clinton Ciala's face as he gets his first Rangers goal to mark his start in the first team in recent weeks. As Proper is put under pressure by Wood here, edge of his own box. Tavernier now, and that's a loose one from the Rangers captain, and Proper can't prevent the corner, or worse, it's still in. Sweeney Rowe can't, close to cutting it back, and Mason Munn dived on the ball to save Rangers there. That was really slack. Yeah,
that was a huge opportunity. If Sweeney Rowe, Mason Munn makes a decision to come and try and cut out the ball from Sweeney Rowe. If he cuts it back there, it's a goal for Fraserburgh. I think Tavernier plays it in behind Proper. Sometimes you just have to take your medicine and let it go out for a corner and deal with the defender. Deal with the corner. Proper's kept it in, and Sweeney Rowe reads it brilliantly and very nearly a goal for Fraserburgh.
Yeah, Mason Munn is now down injured after that, but I think it's come off now. It looks like Jamie Beagray, maybe. Jamie Beagray, it's come off and deflected in, and it's a real sucker punch for Fraserburgh. But Rangers were really up in the ante at the start of the second half. We're having a lengthy break in play here because Mason Munn is down injured.
Do you know a manager in the headlines just lost his job. When he was the manager at Watford when I was there, Sean Dyche, that would have been a fine for Jamie Beagrie. You weren't allowed to turn your back on shots in training or in games because he believed that,
I like that,
if you're making your body smaller. So actually Beagrie's turned his body just half the way around, and it's actually, if he takes it straight on, I think he keeps it out. And
yeah, good point.
Yeah, it was something that I'm going to get fined.
Do you ever get one of those fines, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
A duck.
Right, okay. That's worse, that's a double fine.
It was training and it was coming straight to me, and I'm not get the bravery of big Kieran Simpson for Fraserburgh to take it flush in the face.
Mason Munn is back on his feet after receiving fairly lengthy treatment, and it's good to see from the young goalkeeper who's recovered well from his earlier error that didn't prove costly, but put in a man of the match performance in the Youth Cup final last season, and Rangers came from behind to beat Aberdeen at Hampden, and he's got good stature.
It is actually really, he makes that split decision to go, and when he goes he has to get the ball. It's actually really good in terms of making that mistake in the first half. Fair play to him, to have the bravery to go and be decisive and deal with a really tricky situation.
Play goes on as Robin Proper now plays it to James Tavernier over the halfway line for Dessers. Back to goal, turns just outside the centre circle, and now it's Jeff Day who builds up a head of steam, and his pass is easily cut out by Brian Hay, and Bucket will keep it in on the right hand side for Fraserburgh. Looks up, tries to thread a pass, but it's straight to Nsiala, who then hits the deck. I'm not sure there was much in that. I think he just lost his footing, kind of looked at the linesman as if he was appealing for something, but Jeffy's waving his hands up that I think it's Cyril Dessers, but I just think sometimes he doesn't need to be involved in absolutely every attack. Sometimes just roll it to your winger and back him up, let your winger go and get on the ball and get at him. He almost runs past Lovelace with the ball and cuts out all the options. Rangers throw in to Nsiala, controls and then clears. Won by Young in midfield, but I'll sail out for throw in on the far side. Well, Rangers on a good goal scoring run as well. The last team to keep them from scoring was Kilmarnock when they beat them 1-0 at Rugby Park way back on the 20th of October. And it is of course a big week for Rangers. Old Trafford on Thursday. We'll bring you live commentary from that one. Thursday night Europa League. Rangers in a great position. They're in a great position in this game. 2-0 up as McCausland plays it to Bayrami. Across for Tavernier, back post, Dessers, 3-0. Cyril Dessers adds his second and Rangers third. Eventually got it under control at the back post, and it's the simplest of finishes to pass it beyond Joe Barber, and Rangers really opening up their lead now. Rangers 3, Fraserburgh 0.
I mean, that's a really quick counter-attack from Rangers, going from defence to scoring their third of the afternoon, and breakneck speed, you have to say. That's what they have to do, not allow Fraserburgh to get into a nice wee shape. It was a really early pass from Tavernier. Thought McCausland was going to go on the outside, but when he drives inside and finds Bayrami, he probably takes a heavy touch, but just taking it across the face of the goal. Dessers actually sorts his feet out reasonably well, because the first one lands right in against him. He takes a touch, he shifts it, and then it's a lovely little composed finish into the corner of the net. And I mean, you felt that it was going to go that way in the second half, that sooner or later Rangers would hit their second, then their third, and then this side would start to lose maybe a wee bit of heart.
Yeah, look at it now. As soon as they pass backwards there, Fraserburgh from the kick-off, you can see the whole Rangers team just hounding after them. And but they've done well here, Fraserburgh, because they're coming forward, bucking midway through the Rangers half, and it's an under-hit ball which is intercepted by Lovelace, and he can now drive forward, and he's taken out the game by Young, who puts his hand up and apologises because he knows that was cynical and he'll get booked as well.
Yeah. See the goal. That's what you're looking for from Rangers, even from the throw-in. I was watching young Marley Sweeney Rowe, and Ross McCausland stood right out wide, really wide, and he's not looking at him, and I'm thinking, probably just from coming here over the years, but I'm thinking I'm not comfortable with that. Rangers switch the ball really quickly, brilliant switch of play. I think it was Jeff Day out to Tavernier, just rolls it to McCausland, who's in, and then from there it's just about forward running. Brilliant run from Bayrami, and Rangers punish Fraserburgh.
Interception there from Marley Sweeney Rowe. He's on the halfway line, gives it infield to Young, controls it, then lashes it forward, but it's between Wood and Barber, but then Wood goes after it, and Nsiala has to just get it away to his goalkeeper. Good pressure from the Fraserburgh forward there.
It was. Nsiala did well, because I thought he'd put himself second best there. He'd just get caught just trying to read the pass, and it just slipped in behind him.
Now it's Jeff Day, left hand side. Rangers 3, Fraserburgh 0. 2 goals in this second half. and have stretched the leads in Ciala's deflected effort, and Dessers adding his second of the afternoon from close range, having headed in the opener before the break. Diamonde gives it to Jefte, who's getting a lot of space now towards the left-hand side. He slips it towards the box, intercepted. Dessers was there, and now it's Young, passed forward. Barron gets a foot on it and then nicks it away from Wood at the last minute, and then Ciala has it, and Fraserburgh struggling now to get any possession, as they have all afternoon really, but Rangers playing with a bit of purpose as McCausland comes down the right hand side, drives in field, looking for an option, takes it to the edge of the area, gives it to Dessers, who can't lay it back to him, and Fraserburgh survive that particular attack. Young doesn't have an option though, and he's hounded by 3 blue jerseys. Eventually hits it off one of them, and it goes out for a throw-in down on this near side. And as we approach the hour mark, 25 seconds from it, and it's Rangers 3, Fraserburgh 0, live on Sports Sounds. Scottish Cup 4th round. No real shocks, and we're not going to get one here. Rangers are going to make triple substitution. Young, Finlay Curtis and Bailey Rice and Ridvan Yilmaz are ready to come on in the next break in play. Wood goes up, doesn't win it ahead of Proper. Back to Inciala, who goes back to his goalkeeper Mason Munn, who has not had a save to make, but Barber did have that really good chance at 1-0 before the break, when it was gifted to him by the young goalkeeper. Put it wide though. McCausland, inside ball for Diamonde, lovely turn, slides it to Dessers, right hand side of the box, low cross. Lovelace is in there, but he slips. It was behind him anyway, the cross, and now Aitken plays it up the right hand side, but Wood is beaten to it by Barron, who's kind of just sweeping up whenever Fraserburgh try and counter. He's been there a couple of times now. And Ciala forward with a left-footed pass. Lovelace flicks up in the air for Diamonde. Aitken, Buchan, sorry, back towards his own goal, and the free kick is given for a foul on the edge of the box, and Rangers will get a free kick, and these substitutions will now be made, and Diamonde is going to be one of the players to make way. No surprise there. Rather surprised he started the game, to be fair, given the amount of football he's played. And Bailey Rice is coming on, and now 18 years old, was Rangers, or is Rangers' youngest ever league player, the youngest player overall, still the title with Derek Ferguson, as Bailey Rice replaces Zach Lovelace as well, who's coming off, and Robin Proper also replaced, and Curtis and Ridvan Yilmaz are on. So Rangers, a centre half down there.
Oh, it must be maybe James Tavernier going to right centre back, you'd imagine, and Ridvan will play right back. I can only guess that's that. Maybe Jefte's going to slide to left back and Ridvan over. You've got Leon King sitting on the bench as well. You know, it's a strange one. Thomas, I thought he might have come on at the same time there. Yeah,
we're in Tavernier territory though. This free kick 20 yards out. He's so threatening from this distance, the Rangers captain. The wall is set up, referee's whistle goes, it's Tavernier with the right foot, blocked by the wall, and then breaks for Barron. Yilmaz into Bailey Rice, takes it across him and then gives it to Jefte, crosses in, and then McCausland was in there, it's over him, Rice with a heavy touch, and then Sweeney Rowe cannons it off. Bailey Rice has taken it in the face, and then it spins away and the referee stopped the game. I think for Bailey Rice getting that sore one in the face from the ball, but I don't know. Is that Stoppel? I suppose it's a head injury technically. So, but
I think it catches him flush in the face. I'm not. When you're standing there ready to come on in this game and the impact you want to have, and then you immediately the ball smashes you off the face. So, but yeah, I think probably an interesting one in terms of Tavernier's injury as well. Probably be an easy sub in terms of the day, just to get him off with Thursday in mind and get Leon King on. I understand that. Probably for right back, you're thinking about could you get him a goal and get him kick-started with his goal scoring, but I'd be more thinking about protecting him for the games coming up.
Yeah, it's more important, I think, to protect him for that Manchester United game on Thursday night, I would say. Leon King must be sitting wondering, you know, what's happened to him, playing under Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, Champions League games. Inciala, he's going past him and playing. I know the argument there is he's naturally left-sided, which I get, but still, when this happens, anyway, they've been bursting to get on, I'm sure.
Yeah, he must be thinking about potentially a loan move or something, potentially in the summer. as he needs games at his age. Player that's been highly rated for a while. Bailey Rice is still down here, so feel bad for now suggesting the game perhaps shouldn't have been stopped for that, because he's clearly taken a sore one.
Yeah, I mean, there's concern when you stay down for that long, and doesn't seem to be that much in it, but he drops to the floor straight away, which obviously is a worry. Sitting up now, which is good. And also I think not only will Philippe Clement want to get Bailey Rice minutes, he'll not want to have to use Nico Raskin here, who's been sent to warm up.
Yeah, and you've got Yanis Hadji also on the bench, who, if I remember correctly, is not in the European squad, so he can't play on Thursday. So
I'm just watching young Bailey Rice. He's getting the doc's giving him how many fingers do I see, and moving it around. Obviously the concussion concern might be there for the doctor. I'm hoping that he doesn't have to leave the field, particularly as you said, Stephen, just coming on and having to wait his chance. He would have maybe been hoping for a start today. He's normally a big tough boy. His father certainly is. I know his dad.
Well, he's up, he's all right, and walks off the pitch, so hopefully he'll be reintroduced. Bailey Rice, having only just come on the pitch a minute before getting clattered in the face with the ball. Now we're at 65 minutes on the clock. Rangers 3, Fraserburgh 0. Rangers cruising towards the last 16 of the Scottish Cup, and it's now Nsiala who scored the second via deflection, who passes it to James Tavernier. And of course the Fraserburgh players with the prospect of going back to work tomorrow, albeit I'm sure there was maybe a few annual leave days put in for Monday, and then I think they've got a midweek game against Keith in the Aberdeenshire Shield, so rescheduled, so back down to earth for Fraserburgh players. 3-0 down at the moment.
Is that home or away?
I think it's away. Yeah,
I want to know how many from the coach are at that game in midweek.
The real diehards separate the wheat from the chaff. Away days at Keith, as Rangers have the ball in midfield. Buchan wins it though. That's well played by Fraserburgh, and it's a really good pass from Aitken, fizzed into Wood, but he miscontrols it. Should have done better there, and he knows it because he's cursing himself. And Bailey Rice back on the field, plays it forward to Ross McCausland across the halfway line, gallops up the right hand side for Rangers, got a bit of space, still going Ross McCausland, low cross, misses by Rami, back post, Jefte with a strike, it's wide, well wide and fairly high as well from Jefte, but he is capable. 3-0 it remains.
Honestly, I'm nudging Stephen here. I just want Ross McCausland just to take it out his foot there and wrap it right into the 6-yard line, in between the goalkeeper and defence, and let your strikers and midfielders go and attack it there.
I think because Baisrami dummies it, that's how it ends up coming to Jefte. But I think because of the way McCausland, because as you say, he's not whipped it, it's as if he's picking someone out, and I think Baisrami thinking that can't be me because it's not to me, and that's why he leaves it as opposed to dealing with it and maybe try to get a shot away.
Here is McCausland's slide tackle, goes in from Beagrie, and there's a few words exchanged there. Mark Cowie, the Fraserburgh manager, looking like he's getting a few subs ready. He led them to the Highland League title 21-22, been in charge since 2015, and was in the dugout for the tie at Belsley. And Josh Windass scored a hat-trick that day for a Rangers 3-0 win. Graham Murty in charge that time. As Yilmaz, it's a heavy touch, but he manages to keep it in. He's robbed by Wood, who's backtracked forward for Barber, who tries to outmuscle Tavernier, slips in the process, and it breaks for Nsiala. And then Tavernier is taking a sore one there and is rather limping rather gingerly. See if it's just a wee knock he can shake off, or whether that's a problem. Here is Jefte on the left-hand side for Rangers, who lead 3-0. Live on Sports on BBC Radio Scotland. Barron takes it on the turn in midfield, spreads the play to the right-hand side, and Yilmaz back at right back, comes in on the left foot, crosses it to the back post, but it's too close to the goalkeeper Barber, as Curtis made a run, and Barber takes it comfortably. 3-0 it remains to Rangers.
Thomas, that's what we're talking about there. That's just an innocuous challenge. That's all it takes, a stamp on the foot, anything. I mean, it's not as if he's going to be asked to rampage forward and maybe get himself a goal. What you're talking about, Stephen, he's playing right centre-back. Take him off. It's a huge game against Manchester United, who are not going great, you have to say. An opportunity on Thursday night.
Yeah, and Rangers have saved their best performances for the big games this season. Certainly the last one against Celtic, the last couple against Celtic, they've played well, and certainly European games. Here's Jefte for Nsiala to Tavernier.
I wonder if bringing Ridvan on at right back, is that an indication that he's going to stick with him on Thursday night at right back, as opposed to putting Tavernier back in?
Yeah, it's a fair point. Here is Yilmaz, right-hand side. Goes backwards to McCausland, and there is just a bit of a lull in this game after the third goal. Rangers in such a comfortable position. Big game on Thursday. Don't need to do too much. Fraserburgh with heavy legs, having run themselves into the ground at Ibrox this afternoon and done themselves great credit. That's a wonderful ball for Jeffy. Now it's Finlay Curtis inside the box. Curling shot over the bar. Decent effort from the youngster. Not far away from a first Rangers goal, but it remains 3-0.
Brilliant pass from Enciala. And just a little pull back towards Finlay Curtis. I mean, that's what he's there for. He's actually, I'm watching Philippe Clement saying calm, but I thought he was calm, the boy. He knew what he wanted to do, but he just got it caught up. Just stuck under him a little bit. He didn't get it out and away from him, so he could really shape that ball towards the top corner.
Double change for Fraserburgh. Sorry, Stephen. I'll just run you through a substitution. It's Logan Watt and Sean Butcher. Logan Watt, centre midfielder. Sean Butcher, the striker, coming on. Scott Barber comes off. What a shift he's put in. He's getting a hug from his manager and a bit of a laugh. I know what we're joking about is that chance that he passed up in the first half when it was 1-0 to Rangers. He'll think about that one when he goes to sleep tonight. And he's off. And the other player to go off was Kieran Simpson, who's put in some shift in the back three.
I was just saying, it's that ball inside Aitken again. Brian Hayes just never going to get out to those ones. He's not comfortable going out, and great ball. Enciala just cuts through the middle. It's brilliant to see when the movement's so good and the execution's as good as that. It's a brilliant part of football.
Here's Hay forward now, and it's into the box. What the substitute? Yilmaz, like half dealt with it. Came off. I don't know. He should have headed it, but it came off his shoulder or chest really, and then spun towards the goalkeeper.
I think you're doing him a real disservice there, Thomas. he was very calm, took it in the chest. I mean, if he tries to cushion that with the head, that could have been an embarrassment. But I think he's aware. Maybe not perfect chest back to Munn and goal, but it was decent.
It's nice from Curtis, junction field, and spreads it to McCausland right hand side of the box, gets under his spell, comes in, left-footed shot, skewed well wide of the target, so much so I thought it might have taken a nick, but it hasn't. Goal kick, 3-0 Rangers it remains.
Fraserburgh have gone to a 4 now, it seems. I think they've gone to a 4 anyway, which they're really going to have a go now, try to get more bodies in the forward area, so opportunities maybe for them, but certainly you would feel for Rangers.
Yeah, Logan Watt has gone up and
4-2-3-1 almost, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what they normally play. They went to a back five. You can understand why for a game like today with the extra defensive burden. They usually play sort of 4-1-1, 4-2-3-1, and Logan Watt is up there. 36,000, a little over the crowd at Ibrox this afternoon, so it's fairly healthy, given it's not on the season books. And here come Rangers. Curtis, and it's given to Tavernier. Tavernier marches over the halfway line, chips it towards Curtis. Has made a good run into the box, tries to bring it down over his shoulder, though it was an awkward one, and it spins away behind for a goal kick. And another prospect, Finlay Curtis in the B team, goal scoring midfielder. Good player.
Yeah, he's been bright here. Obviously had the half chance. I thought it was a brilliant run there to set up the Ross McCausland shot, and probably, I don't know if I'm just getting frustrated. I just would wish Jeffy would just let him leave him that time. If Curtis has come to the halfway line there in the left back position, they pick up the ball because Jeffy's just took off.
Jeffy wins a header ahead of Buchan, and it's by Rami. Goes back to Tavernier, who, as Neil called it, is playing right centre half. And it's Enciala, the left centre half now. Logan Watt's gone to meet him though, as Fraserburgh just try and press that little bit higher. They've got bodies in the Rangers half. Enciala can take it on the edge of his own box fairly comfortably though, and then goes back to his goalkeeper Mason Munn. Out to Bayrami. Bayrami for Tavernier. Tavernier to Rice, and then to Bayrami, who's going to go with a diagonal out to the left-hand side, and it's a lovely ball for Jeffy. Controls it on the bounce, and Jeffy going towards the area, into the area, lays it to the edge of the box. Curtis with a strike, and it's fierce, but it's straight at the goalkeeper.
Got it sweet, didn't he?
Yeah.
Really sweet, but a really good move from Rangers. Fraserburgh are trying to have a little press there, but the ball into Bailey Rice was good. He had a picture already in his mind just to pop it around the corner, and then it was opened out. Big switch to that left side for Jefty. Came into Curtis, he caught it really, really nice. Better than his last effort, but unfortunately for him, straight down Joe Barber's throat.
It's been really tidy, Joe Barber, with saves. There's nothing coming off him. There's no kind of panic he's causing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just clean catch and a good save.
Bounces out for a Rangers goal kick. Yeah, a lot of these Fraserburgh players done themselves proud today. They've not had a shot on target is the only thing. That Barbara one that went wide, that was the moment, as we've said. It was the moment for them to even get level. However long that might have lasted, it would have been a brilliant Scottish Cup moment in general had Barbara buried that. But he didn't, and Rangers have gone on to add another 2 goals to their tally. 3-0 in front. Here's Curtis, who's having a good game off the bench. Slipped into Dessers. Can he finish? Gets the byline, flashes it across, and McCausland's at the back stick to tap in number 4 for Rangers. Simple goal. Passing behind was excellent for Dessers. Cuts it across, and McCausland simply could not miss. And it is Rangers 4, Fraserburgh 0.
A brilliant goal from Rangers. Such a good pass from Finlay Curtis. I've been really impressed, himself and Bailey Rice. I know they're coming on at 3-0 against the Highland League team. They've been really positive in their play, really bright since he's come on. Finlay Curtis is a brilliant run from Cyril Dessers, and really unselfish. The one that Barber doesn't do, he's cut it back for his teammate, and Ross McCausland at the back stick gets a tap in.
Yeah, Neil, Ross McCausland there, doing what a winger should do on the opposite side when the cross comes in. He's in at the back post.
Absolutely, if the ball's on that left side, he needs to get in it. I mean, it's not from I know we're talking about a coaching requirement and the basics is what you should be done, but actually for himself to get more goals and become a real threat, he needs to be coming in there, because that's an easy little tap-in that Dessers has provided for him. But yeah, you're right, Finlay Curtis has looked a sharp player.
Chance here for Fraserburgh's Rangers. Take a few chances on their own box, but eventually they deal with it. And it was Butcher that was lurking in there. And now Rangers look to counter again. 75 on the clock. Rangers 4, Fraserburgh 0. Dessers flicks it to McCausland. Lovely touch, right corner of the box. Looks up, waits for Yilmaz to arrive, but he didn't see the defender tracking back, and it's a good challenge from Young. And then Butcher slides in on Tavernier, and Tavernier gets to his feet, does really well, and flicks it to McCausland. McCausland with a pass. Now it's Tavernier, edge of the box, rolls it with the studs, tries to beat Young, but he doesn't, and it breaks for Fraserburgh to clear. Butcher gets a nudge from Barron and wins the free kick for Fraserburgh, just shy of the halfway line.
Yes, I think it's probably a soft one. I don't think Connor Barron's fouled him, but referee gave Fraserburgh the benefit of the doubt and allowed him to get up the park. But just looking at probably at times with injuries and lack of options Rangers have had, Finlay Curtis he's impressed me, and it's not been just because of the opposition. It's his awareness, it's his vision, it's his attitude to running and carrying the ball. You think you'd like to see a bit more of him as the season moves on.
Yeah, he looks quite sharp, and he's got the movement's clever, because he's dipping to going behind, and the fullback's dropping, and he's just coming short. Really quite intelligent.
Yeah, another one who played in that Youth Cup final last year where they beat Aberdeen.
Sometimes he has to come short because Jeff just bombs past him.
I know.
Here's Nsiala. Bailey Rice back to Tavernier. Tavernier hooks up, slides it to Yilmaz just over halfway. Good challenge from Wood, and then it's Logan Watt, and now Fraserburgh running at the Rangers backline. Wood can't quite take it in his stride, but he'll get it still as Bayrami tracks back in on the right foot. Can he swing the cross in? Dummies. Bayrami in front of him. Cross doesn't beat Tavernier, standing front post area, and then it's a sliding challenge given away, and now Rangers can counter. Dessers, he's all alone up there, he's striding towards the edge of the box. William West is back. Dessers dummies the shot, he's on the byline, and then he hits it off the defender, and the chance is gone, and there's a howl of derision from the Rangers fans.
Yeah, I mean, no wonder. Bailey Rice is making up the ground, Finlay Curtis is making it up. You get Bayrami, who's absolutely breaking his neck to get into the box. He just never looks as if he has a picture in his mind. Cyril Dessers there.
Yanis Hadji's coming on for Nedim Bayrami for Rangers.
I felt like Dessers decided he was going to take it himself when it was on to cut it back, and then when it was on just to shoot, that's when he tried to cut it back, and that's why
right.
Within this, there's almost like a Dessers groan. It's almost like the same, it's kind of the same level of noise. It's like because I think everyone in the stadium felt like the same thing. Like he made the wrong decision twice in a row there.
Yeah, and they've said it. Oh, he said it so many times since he joined Rangers. He'll give you some goals, but he'll give you a whole lot of frustration as well. I think, yeah, it's probably an accurate characterisation, the Dessers grow.
Yeah.
What is it? He scored 2 and he set 1 up.
Well, he's our top scorer this season. He's got 14 goals.
Yeah.
However, when you break it down, he scored against Aberdeen the other night. He's got a couple in Europe. That goal against Aberdeen was only his 3rd against a current top 6 team. So he tends to get the goals against, you know.
But you do feel, I mean, you feel like the fans have lost a bit of trust in him. Moments in the first half and he's flicking at things and stuff like that, you know, they almost just want it. He does the bits, he gets the numbers, it's the other bits he needs to tidy up to be the main striker at Rangers.
You can see he's kind of rusty a wee bit as well today, because Iggyman has certainly made that centre-forward position his own of late, and he's sort of playing second fiddle, so he's having to battle with that. I know he's spoken about speaking to certain people, psychologists and stuff like that, and keeping his head right, and as a number 9, I mean, that's you live by scoring and missing chances. Unfortunately, that's the position you're in.
And a really good young moment coming up for two young Fraserburgh players. Josh Hawkins, 18 years old, is coming on, and 20-year-old Liam Strachan also on both. Hawkins a left back, left winger, and Strachan can play either side up top. And that was that Connor Wood that went off. What a shift he's putting up front, run all day. And then Paul Young as well, I think, is made way in midfield, gets the congratulations of the bench.
I mean, you can't underplay it, Thomas. When you're a professional footballer or a semi-professional footballer, if you're playing in that Highland League and you got opportunity to come down here, you all harbour dreams of the cup upset like Darvel did. But as soon as the reality kicks in and you're maybe 2 or 3, 4 down, then really you just want to soak it up. And it's really nice for some of these boys to taste what it is like to come and play in this sort of environment. You can only give them an idea of what it must be like to play at that level week in, week out, and what it takes. So it's a lovely moment for these boys coming on.
Yeah, absolutely. As it breaks in midfield, Buchan goes after it, Hadji beats him to it. Now Barron has it in the centre circle, turns back towards his own goal and gives it to Nsiala. And Tavernier,
it's one of those days you feel like you wish all the Fraserburgh subs could get on.
Yeah, I know.
You just wish they could all. I'm sure the manager would love to just be able to get them all on, just for legs as well, but also just to let them sample the experience.
Leon King is going to be coming on for Rangers as well, as it's played out to Hadji on the left hand side. Rangers work it back the way. Bailey Rice to Tavernier in midfield. Tavernier slides it forwards. Good interception from Sweeney Rowe, but it's going to break for Jeff. They've got such pace that he gets there, nicks it away from Hay, but it's gone behind for a goal kick to Fraserburgh. Rangers 4, Fraserburgh 0. Highland League side doing themselves proud, certainly in the first half. Got away from him in the second, and we are going to get that change, which the guys were surprised didn't come earlier, as James Tavernier is replaced by Leon King.
Yeah, not surprised at all they made that substitution. The interesting one for me is just what Phil Clements, what he's thinking ahead of Thursday night with the wide players. Who plays at right back.
Interesting that Cyril Dessers has just been handed the armband. There you go. Not sure that he would have been thinking that he would have been captain today at some point.
Yeah, it's been handed around a bit in recent weeks at Rangers because of Tavernier's injury. It's played up in Logan Watt, and he's taken a dunt off Nsiala, who then puts a really good foot in to dispossess Begrate as Fraserburgh came down the left hand side of Rangers box. Now McCausland's carrying it towards the halfway line down the right hand side. He's away from a couple of black and white striped jerseys, but it's played forward by Rangers, and it's the goalkeeper Joe Barber for Fraserburgh who has it, and Sweeney Rowe arrows it into midfield. Buchan plays it up in the area for Butcher to Watt. And this is well worked from Fraserburgh. Buchan then plays it into the area. Butcher's there. Watt tries to flick, and it just wouldn't sit for anyone in a black and white shirt. Headed though by Aitken, Begrate, Young, and then it's tackled in midfield. Dessers, I think, won it. Now Curtis makes the run. Dessers can't return it to him, and Aitken goes back to his goalkeeper Barber. A bit scrappy, but it was promising from Fraser, but it just wouldn't sit for them on the edge of the box. And it's out to Aitken, the right back. Looks up. He's going to go long, sends it into the channel for Logan Watt to chase. Nsiala gets there first. Down in front of the Fraserburgh fans, though, Watt gets his body in front. That's brilliant. Can he win a throw-in or a corner here? And he tries to nip past Nsiala, goes back the way towards right at the corner flag. Jefty's getting involved. Watt goes down. The Fraserburgh fans want a free kick, and it's gone to Rangers. And Logan Watt and Greg Buchan are having a little word with the far side linesman, because they understandably have a different point of view.
I think he got a wee bit excited there, Logan Watt, as well, over by his own fans. He'd probably get juiced up a little bit as well. Over aggressive in the challenge, possibly.
Yeah, it was
but
a
who
nice.
can blame him?
He's tried a nice little dragon flick to get past Enciala, and it just didn't quite come off. It's a free kick to Rangers down in that corner. But then the referee, I mean, unhappy that it's taken 3 yards away from the spot next to the byline. Mason Munn is going to line this one up. 84 on the clock. Fraserburgh, as I said, back to action on Wednesday night against Keith. Then Brora on the weekend back in the Highland League. Brora, who went top of the league yesterday, with Brechin, of course, leading the way, but playing on Friday in the Scottish Cup, going down to Hearts after getting themselves in front. Here come Fraserburgh, lashed forwards, right hand side of the Rangers box. Mason Munn comes out his area, and he's got so much time to just let it run behind for a goal kick. But Rangers just comfortably seeing this game out now. 4 goals to the goods, 84.5 on the clock. 3 second half goals, taking them well clear, and they'll be going into the hat for the last 16. And all that remains to be seen really is whether it is going to be Dundee or Dundee United to join them tomorrow night. Full commentary of that one at Dens live on Sportsman tomorrow, 8 o'clock kickoff, and we'll bring you the draw thereafter as well. Tune in for that. Should be a cracker. As Hadji looks to stab it into the box, blocked, spins away for Jefte. Jefte for Hadji. Hadji to Barron, now Bailey Rice facing back towards his own goal. Rangers just trying not to use up any needless energy, although there are players on the park who won't be involved on Thursday night at Old Trafford, but just comfortably stroking it about. Here's Connor Barron. That's a wonderful pass down the right hand side of the box. Can McCausland get there? He can't. It goes behind for a goal kick. Right idea from Connor Barron, just slightly overhit, and it will be a goal kick. And we'll get another substitution for Fraserburgh. It is Flynn Mackay, 17-year-old who is still at school. He is going to come on. Scottish Schoolboys International, actually. It's his debut season. And what a moment for him.
Few schooling over in the corner, I think there. He's getting a right wee ovation.
Yes, indeed. And there is Greg Buchan, who another one who's run all day. It's a big hug from his manager. High fives on the bench. He goes off. What a moment for young Flynn Mackay into the Fraserburgh midfield. Bailey Rice heads up forward, Dessers in behind. Wide of the goal, into the box, Cyril Dessers, can he score the hat-trick? Gets the nudge from Sweeney Rowe. Hadji blocked by Sweeney Rowe. Chance gone from Dessers, and Hadji, left-hand side of the box, still alive for Rangers, floats it in. Dessers with a header off the outside of the post and spins away. So close to a hat-trick from Cyril Dessers. Should have buried the first one though.
It's the most Cyril Dessers 30 seconds you'll ever see. he goes by the goalie and you just think, there's your hat-trick. He doesn't score. He almost finds a way not to score. It's a brilliant recovery from the Fraserburgh defender. But then the header's brilliant. The header's so brilliant timing, so aggressive, really unlucky. It was mad 30 seconds.
Yeah, that should have been a hat-trick, no question of it. But I think it's safe to say the home crowd here have seen it before, and he's still got his 2 goals though, Cyril Dessers, on to 15 for the season. And there's a delay here as happened here, is there?
I think because it was a head knock, they stopped the game, so it's a bounce ball.
Bounce ball up here.
Remember the old-fashioned bounce balls where it used to be like you take a stud in the shin?
Yeah.
Now it's all very friendly and civilised.
Launched forward by Fraserburgh, flick on by Butcher. It's a brilliant flick on. There's a chance here for Watt, but he doesn't get any conviction by the shot, and he's so frustrated. He should have just leathered it.
I thought he should have just lifted it. An instinct there as soon as it drops, because it bounces high. It's just to lift it towards the far post, trying to just lob Mason Munn. He tries to square it inside.
Here's Finlay Curtis down the left-hand side for Rangers. Ball in, no one in a blue shirt there. Bailey Rice on the edge of the box, his header's blocked. Drake's back to him, lovely strike and a good save from Barber. Both hands back to Dessers, completely missed kick. Then it's lashed by Curtis and it spins well wide. It's actually gone out for a throw.
Out for a throw sounds horrendous, by the way, but that was a decent effort. It's just the reason why it ends up that way is because there's so much cut spin on it.
Yeah, it looked like it was going in at one point and then it spun out for a throw next to the corner flag. But
the first shot was a brilliant hit from Bailey Rice. I think Joe Barber's had a really good afternoon. I think it's a really good save.
Here's McCausland. Now Ridvan Yilmaz back down the line to Leon King. Leon King square for Jefte. Almost in the 90th minute. Rangers 4, Fraserburgh 0. And Bailey Rice collects on the turn, gives it to McCausland. McCausland to Yilmaz in field, loses out, and Beagray lashes it away. And then Ciala lets it skip through to him, controls, faces forward, and gives it to Jefte, lets it run across him, darts forward, right into the middle of the pitch. He's going to look about the shot, and then Rice goes again with the left foot this time, and he just passes it by the right-hand post. But his manager, Philippe Clement, really applauded that. He liked that one. It was a cheeky little strike.
Yeah, he's got that in the bag. I've watched this kid from a young age. He's got power, as you saw with the first effort that Joe Barber saved really well. You're right, Stephen, with that one there, he's just opening his foot out. He's trying to just pass it, and he's got such a cultured left foot, Bailey Rice.
Yeah, it's interesting as well, because obviously he was at Motherwell before coming to Rangers with Lennon Miller. He's obviously played a lot more first team action in the last couple of years and kicked on. You feel like a player like Bailey Rice just needs minutes, needs games.
Yeah, well, it's exposure and development that has brought Lennon Miller to the level he's at now, and Bailey seems to have just stood still. But I mean, it's a lot harder to get into the Rangers first team.
Of course, yeah. As Dessers goes in, another chance for the hat-trick round the goalkeeper. Can he finish it? He can! He can! Cyril Dessers has a hat-trick. Rangers have 5, and Fraserburgh are well beaten as we hit the 90th minute. Rangers 5, Fraserburgh 0.
Brilliant from Cyril Dessers. That's probably his hardest chance of the day. He's done brilliant. It's a brilliant run, really good pass. He's gone round Joe Barber, and with his left foot, his weaker foot, he's put it into the side net. Really, really good finish.
Yeah, and that's what he does. He'll finish it. Plenty of chances, he'll miss some as well, but that was brilliant. Well wide of the target, Neil squeezes it in.
Yeah, that's the most impressive thing about it, Thomas, because I think his touch round the keeper was really good, because he's going at some pace, and it's soft enough, it still gives him an opportunity. But I tell you, it's not an easy one, because he's very close to the touchline there, and he's squeezing it with the left instep, which again makes it even more difficult.
And it is the last act of this 4th round tie, and Rangers are into the hat for the last 16 with a minimum of fuss. Fraserburgh have done themselves proud here. Highland League outfit at Ibrox this afternoon, particularly first half. They went in to the sheds just 1 goal down after Dessers headed in from James Tavernier's corner. But Rangers came out in the second half, and as you would expect, the part-time side, the Highland League team, tiring after the break. Ciala struck one from the edge of the box, which went in via deflection of Jamie Beagray for 2-0. Cyril Dessers added number 3 at the back post, got it under his spell and then tucked it away from close range. Then his cross found McCausland, who tapped in at the back post for number 4, and then right at the end there played it behind Cyril Dessers, rounded the goalkeeper and squeezed it in from a very tight angle for number 5, and that is how it is finished here. Rangers march on in the Scottish Cup as they were expected to do. Fraserburgh get plenty of plaudits for the way they acquitted themselves here this afternoon. They're going to go across to their nearly 1,400 fans here at Ibrox, who will be proud of their boys this afternoon, and it is a day to forget. And you know, we'll never know, had Scott Barber buried that chance when it was 1-0 just before the break that was gifted to him, they might not have gone on to take anything from this tie, but it would have been a special moment nonetheless. But it wasn't to be, and Rangers have gone on to win this game comfortably, and it finished at Ibrox in the Scottish Cup 4th round tie. Rangers 5, Fraserburgh 0.
The Scottish Cup.